Looking at our world from a theological perspective. This is the Theology Central Podcast, making theology central.
Good evening, everyone. It is Friday, June the 10th, 2022. It is currently 9:28 p.m. Central Time, and I'm coming to you live from Abilene, Texas. So let me ask you a question. Did you put gas in your car today? Did you stop by a gas station, convenience store, put gas in your car, in your vehicle, in your truck? How much did it cost? How much? Did you fill up the tank? Or are you like, hey, there's no way I can fill up the tank? So you just put a little bit of gasoline. How much did it cost you? I've seen that it's cost some people to fill up the tank somewhere between $90 and $100. It is absolutely crazy right now how expensive gas is. I think the average price right now is close to $5 a gallon, and in some places it's over $6. It's absolutely crazy. And would you want that price to go up any? Would you? Would that greatly, hinder your ability to live? Would that greatly hinder your ability to do a lot of things? Have you noticed that a lot of things are expensive right now? Food, rent, just everything, because inflation is out of control. Have you noticed? Did you see the stock market just absolutely crash today? Did you notice any of those things on this Friday, June the 10th, 2022? Did you? I'm betting that all of you are very aware of all of these things. But let's go back specifically to the gas prices. Can you think of a scenario? Can you think of anything that could possibly make the gas prices go up even more? Could you think of something? What if some type of a military conflict started arising somewhere within the Middle East, maybe involving Israel and Iran? What do you think that would do? You think that would make gas prices go up any? Maybe not. I mean, we've got all of the other situations developing in the world. What else do you think that would impact? What would happen to the Middle East? What would happen to stability in the Middle East? Or at least the appearance of stability? What does the United States of America, what do we do or what do we not do? What would it signify? What if in the next 4 weeks, what if in the next 2 to 3 months, Israel launches an airstrike against Iran? Has that even crossed your mind in the last few weeks or months? I mean, there's been so much going on in the world. Have you even considered that? Have you even thought about that? Have you even considered that there could be a possibility? Well, to be honest with you, I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't even considered it until, I grabbed my iPad. I opened up the Apple Podcast app, and I noticed that I had the evening update from AFN Newscast. That's American Family Network Newscast, which is a Christian radio network. I don't always agree with their news coverage, but I always listen. And all of a sudden, about 2 minutes and 33 seconds into the evening update, they start talking about Israel and a possible launching an airstrike against Iran. And I'm like, whoa, back that up. And I'm like, you know what? Forget backing it up. Let me go find the audio clip somewhere. So I spent the last 30 minutes, about 27 minutes, searching the internet, trying to find somewhere where I could find a file or find the audio that I could actually download. It took me forever. I don't know why they make it so complicated. I mean, they on the American Family Network website, they have the AFN Newscast podcast, but they don't make it where you can download an episode. Drives me absolutely crazy. But we're going to play, not the whole newscast. We're going to play just a small clip of it so that you can hear what they had to say. Now, you may not agree. You may think it's just foolishness. You may think it's just sensational reporting. But I at least want you to know, because if it was to occur, what would that do to gas prices? What would that do to the prices of a number of things? And the reason one of the main reasons I'm bringing this up is when the economy is going crazy, when gas prices are as high as it is, how does that ultimately impact maybe the church? I mean, churches are already having major issues with attendance problems. I mean, hey, it's $5 a gallon. Let's let's just forget. We're not going to church today. I don't know. Do you think it actually impacts that? I don't know. I just want you to be aware of what, well, the American Family Network is. Well, you just listen and then we'll discuss it. Here we go. This aired, again, this was a part of the AFN Newscast podcast. It was the evening update. I don't know exactly what time it showed up in most podcasting apps. I saw it a little while ago, but I'm probably behind. I think it usually drops around 6 or 7 p.m. Central Time, maybe a little earlier, but it's their evening update. And, well, here we go.
News that Israel has dramatically upgraded the range of its stealth fighters means a potential attack on Iran nuclear sites is now a distinct possibility. FN's Chad Groening has more.
The Jerusalem Post reports that the Israeli Air Force can now fly its F-35 stealth fighters from Israel to the Islamic Republic without requiring mid-air fueling. This boost to IAF capabilities comes as the Israeli military has upped its preparations for a future strike against Iran's nuclear program. In addition, the IAF has recently integrated a new 1-ton bomb into the arsenal of weapons used by the F-35s that can be carried inside the jet without jeopardizing its stealth radar signature. Jan Markell is founder and director of Olive Tree Ministries and host of Understanding the Times on American Family Radio. During an appearance on AFR, she predicted that the Israeli attack on Iran could be very soon.
I believe even this summer we're going to wake up to a headline that says Israel has struck Iranian nuclear sites. Which ones, we don't know. There are some that are further along than others. Some are underground, where there's really not much you can do.
Markell says there is a clock that is ticking down.
I am very concerned, because here's what's going to happen. If they strike these nuclear sites, obviously there's going to be loss of life, and the whole world will scream bloody murder, and Israel needs to be punished when she, in fact, just did the world a favor by knocking out some of these nuclear sites.
The IAF has held 4 large-scale drills stimulating attacks against Iran over the last month. The first drill included confronting Iranian radar and detection systems like those which protect its nuclear installations. I'm Chad Groening.
The Labor Department.
There you have it. Now, just because they're running drills, just because they're doing exercises, doesn't necessarily mean anything. I was in the military, as most of you know, for 19 years before I was medically discharged and declared 100% disabled because of everything that happened to me. I won't go into all the details. But while in the military for those 19 years, we did many exercises with lots of different scenarios. We exercise all kinds of different scenarios. And just because you're exercising a specific scenario doesn't necessarily mean that's what that's getting ready to happen. But it is interesting that they've been exercising recently. At least we should take note of, a possible strike against Iranian nuclear facilities. They now have capabilities to be able to get their stealth aircraft there without refueling in midair. So they can reach there, they can get there. They've got a bomb that they can carry inside the plane that won't be detected by radar. This really gives them the capability, and at least according to what they said, they would not be surprised that by the end of this summer that we wake up to that headline. Now, they talked about what would happen. They talked about international reaction, how many people would be yelling and screaming at Israel. I just think we have to think about the stability of the Middle East and the economic fallout from it. Gas prices, those types of things. Just because so many things are already, when it comes to the economy and gas prices right now, there's so many things are already, it feels out of control with no end in sight. And would that just make it even worse? And then how does that impact, so many other things? I'm not here to make any prediction in any way, shape, or form. Not even going to pretend to make a prediction. I just want you to be aware that conversation, that discussion is at least happening, or at least happened on one newscast this evening. You may have heard other people discussing it. You may have heard if you've heard anything else about it, especially if it's a podcast, send me the name of the podcast, and I will, most likely I already subscribe to it. But if I don't, I will subscribe to it and I will listen, because I want to hear all kinds of different perspectives. Obviously, American Family The American Family Network, American Family Radio, is coming at two things from a Christian perspective. I mean, they spoke to the host of Understanding the Times, which we have reviewed some of their episodes, which is a prophecy podcast, which I don't always agree with their eschatology, but I like listening to so many different things. But so they didn't really bring in biblical prophecy there, but that anytime anything happens in the Middle East, just remember, for some people, sometimes anyone throws a rock in the Middle East. They're like, this is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And sometimes it gets a little, you're like, okay. But it is something to take note of because it always has major international implications, stability in the Middle East, fuel prices, and of course, I think many who won't maybe turn things into a sensational headline and go crazy, I think many would still say, Israel is key to biblical prophecy. So it is something that we will keep an eye on. They said maybe before the end of this summer. All right, we are at June the 10th, 2022. We will see by the time we get close to August 2022, have there been any more developments? Has anything occurred? And we will see a lot of uncertainty and instability in the world right now. Lots of things are uncertain. So we will keep an eye. And of course, if I hear or see anything, I'll turn the microphone on and report it to you. So just wanted to turn on the microphone and give you the information really quick. And we'll leave it there. And we'll be back with another broadcast here in a few minutes. Thanks for listening. You can email me, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com, and give me your thoughts and your perspective on the possibility, now that Israel seems to have the capability to launch airstrikes against Iranian nuclear facilities, and to be able to do so without having to refuel in the air, and they can carry a certain bomb inside the plane, which would not be detected by radar, and they could then make it there using stealth technology. That seems to be at least what the update was primarily focused on, and you can tell me the implications of all of that if you would like. All right, thanks for listening. God bless.